Hey, mommies! Happy Thursday. So I just have a couple of minutes. I'm in the car right now, and I was just kind of meditating and thinking a little bit about this thing about babies being so demanding. It's something that I've come across a lot during different circumstances during the week, and I just kind of wanted to get mommies' opinions on it because everybody's experience is so different with their babies. And basically, yesterday, my baby, I laid him down for a little bit and he starts crying and crying and crying. He was crying for a while, and then I picked him up. My husband tried to pick him up and he was still crying. I picked him up and straight away he's like relaxed. And my husband's like, oh my God, I can't remember our first baby, Samuel, crying so much. I mean, do babies cry that much? It seems like all the time he's crying unless he's on your boob or you're holding him. And I'm like, no, Samuel used to cry more. In fact, you just kind of tend to forget, I guess, because they tend to slowly come out of that phase. But especially when they're newborns, they do cry, and that's their way of communicating. So I'm kind of like become a little bit more accustomed to it, seeing as this is my second baby. And I've become more accustomed to the fact that I understand now that babies, especially breastfed babies, are very needy and they need you. They need to feel your warmth, your touch. It's very different, I think, to formula fed babies that I think are a little bit more like independent, if you can call a baby independent. But what I mean is they're not as needy, like you don't have to be holding them all the time. That's kind of what I've seen from experience of different friends and breast feeding groups that I've been in and interacted with other moms and mommy groups and things like that. That's kind of what I get. And also, I'm going to a really cool moms group at church. They follow a book called No More Perfect Moms, and it's really good. I've really enjoyed that group. It's very good for support because even though you can be someone that's motivated, I'm like with my second child, you still have times where you're like, oh my God, am I doing things right? Is this how you do things? Are my kids am I wrecking them? Am I doing the right thing? So I really, really enjoyed it. And we talked about that this week, about how demanding kids can be and babies can be and how they consume you kind of as a person, as a marriage, as a couple. And then you start to kind of forget about those things that used to be important to you. And it just becomes all about your kids and all about your babies. And, it can be dangerous too, especially like in a marriage and especially as a couple. And some men, or like say some husbands or partners or spouses, don't understand that sometimes, and they can even be jealous of the baby. It can develop into a lot of different things. So I just wanted to get some perspective in regards to that from you moms, what your experiences have been, what have you tried to do to kind of keep your sanity, especially when we're talking about babies that are not sleeping through the night, that you're sleep deprived. It can lead to a lot of frustration. And even though you love them with all your heart and you love holding them and cuddling with them, at the same time, you're like, oh my God, I just want like 2 hours straight sleep, please. And, I really, with my baby now, I'm co-sleeping because I said I would never do what I did with Samuel, which was that, I would hold him in the rocking chair, put him in the crib, and 2 minutes would pass. Like I would back away from the crib and straight away he would start crying. And I would do this like, 10, 20, 30 times. And it just felt like the whole night I was doing this back and forth. And I said with my second, I'm not even going to do that. I'm just, from the beginning, I'm just going to co-sleep. If I put him in the crib, I'll do that. I'll put the crib in our room. And if he can get, a couple of hours on his own, that's fine. And then I'll put him in bed with me. And that's kind of what's worked for me and my husband. And that's what we both agreed on. And we both feel very comfortable with that. But in saying that, I think also sometimes you need to kind of just let go a little bit. I know you want to protect your babies and your children, and no one can take care better of your children than you can, obviously. But sometimes it's good to just kind of let go a little bit and maybe, I'm super blessed. My neighbors are like a godsend. They're amazing. They're like family for me, and I can leave my kids there without a problem at all, with my eyes closed, and I trust them completely. And just go to dinner or go to a movie with my husband and maybe just get a couple of hours of just couple time, and we can just hang out together and talk about other stuff that is not like routine and the kids this and the kids that. So it's really important, I think, to for your sanity and for your marriages and your relationships to keep them strong. And it doesn't necessarily have to be your husband either. It could just be like you're hanging out with your sister or your best friend. Maybe, like I said, just an hour of you time, because it can be very hard. Just an hour of you time can happen sometimes for, a mom once a month or once every 6 months, because all the time it's the kids. But like I said, you have to be careful, not to allow it to consume you. But at the same time, also, relax and cherish the moment, live the time that you're living. And time goes by so fast. And before you know it, they're not going to need you anymore. Like my son now, he's 2 and he goes to daycare. And now he's like, bye, bye. And he hangs out with his friends. And I don't feel that he like needs me as much. Especially during the daytime. Sometimes at night, obviously, he wants to be with mommy, and I still cherish that now because I'm like, I don't have that like I used to before. During the day, he's at a daycare, so at nighttime, it's nice to cuddle up, and if he wants to come into bed with us, that's cool too. I think sometimes people come into this like frame of mind of thinking that the children have to learn to self-soothe and be independent and be this adult, which they're not. They're like a tiny little person and they need you. And I think if we attend to those needs and if we show them how much we love them and show our love all their time, don't deny our love to them, because that's what they're looking for when they get up at night and things like that. They're looking for love. Maybe you think it might be a phase or they're being rebellious, but at the end of the day, they just need their mom and dad. They just need that human touch, that love. And I think when you attend to those needs, you're actually bringing up a better child, because it's going to be someone who is secure within themselves. It's someone that has learned to trust, because during those first months and during that period of them growing up in those very first few years, it's about building trust. And if I am able to build a good trust type relationship with my child, he's going to be able to do that with other adults as he's growing up. So I think that's super important. That's another perspective to think about. I actually posted something about that this morning. So don't think too much like my child's really needy and he's never going to be independent. This is just a time that you're going through, or a season, as we also call it. So cherish it and don't deny yourself to your child. That if they're calling out to you, it's because they need you. So make sure you hold them, show them their love. I promise you, one day they're going to grow up and they're going to leave home and they're going to be completely different beings, and they're not going to be like a needy child. It's just something that they go through. It's normal. And sometimes there's certain babies that are more needy than others, and that's fine too. So I just wanted to get you moms also your input or your opinions, let's say, about what I mentioned. Do you find, because my experience with both my babies have been breastfed babies, and I do find that they are a lot more needy than formula-fed babies, but I just kind of wanted to get moms' perspectives on that and see if it's something that, has a pattern and that we're seeing with other moms that are experiencing that, okay? Awesome, mommies. Well, I'm off now. My husband's here, so we have to go do some stuff. Big kiss. Have a happy, and wonderful weekend. Bye-bye.